Let's break this down into four game slots, of course, with 17 games. The last one will be 5. I'm not great in math, but I know we can't get 4 evenly to 17. So we'll go 4-4 and 4 and 5 for the last one. So kind of like quarters. And when you look at it that way, a lot was made about, they open with the Chiefs. That's a tough opening game. But when you look at the games in that first quarter with the Chiefs, then the Texans, then the Bears, then the Vikings, that's not a bad way for the Browns to start as they're kind of easing all the new personnel defensively into that scheme.
Yeah, I think it's great. And you kind of write off the Kansas City game. It is what it is. The Browns lost 38-6 in the opener last year, and they were just fine. So if they play well against Kansas City, great. If they don't, no big deal. You got Houston, who's a mess. We don't even know who's going to be playing quarterback for them. Chicago, if Chicago does the right thing, they'll have a rookie quarterback starting that game. So that's an opportunity for the Browns to maybe get a win over a rookie quarterback at home there. And, Minnesota is tough. They're a team that kind of any given Sunday can look like one of the best teams in football, or, they might look like just a completely average football team, depending on how Kirk Cousins decides to play on a certain Sunday. So that's a tough game, but there's no reason that the Browns can't look at that first 4 and realistically see 3-1. And at worst, you're 2-2, which would be disappointing, but it's certainly far from a death sentence.
The other thing that I think, and Ellis poo-pooed it yesterday, I think there's a little bit of an advantage to the Browns going against the Chiefs with so many new guys on defense, because they're in a lot of tape for what the Browns are going to do defensively. And I know that, the offense knows where they're going, but if they get surprised by 3 safeties, 3 cornerbacks, much quicker guys, 1 linebacker, there's a lot of sub packages that you could spring and try to negate all that speed that Kansas City has.
Yeah, and I certainly think the Browns can use that to their advantage, because Kansas City has no idea where Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is going to line up, or what John Johnson is going to do in this defense, or Ronnie Harrison, or whomever. Now, certainly those guys are going to need some time to gel, and the goal is ultimately to have that defense really humming when you get to November. But, look, Kansas City is breaking in a whole new offensive line. Those guys haven't really played much together either. And I think that's just as important as having potentially 9 new starters on defense. That it takes time for those groups to gel. And, all the Browns need to do is maybe sneak in a turnover or 2, and that can be a completely different game.